What a beautiful machine, no question, absolutely stunning. Today is the day. I'm taking the Vulcan to Cyclespot on the North Shore to go and ride my first Indian, the Scout Bobber. I won't be riding the Bobber, I'll be riding just a normal Scout I think, but I'll just check the ergonomics to see what they're like. But ultimately I just want to see what the engine feels like. I know that they've got a bad exhaust on it. Well, the stock exhaust don't sound so good, so I have to try and overlook that and see how we go. Should be enormous fun. First I'm going to go meet Daryl for breakfast. And off we go. I do love Vulcan. This bike is going to have a lot to answer for in order to beat Vulcan. Hello everybody, this is Daryl here. So we're having breakfast and then I'm going to go and ride this bloody Indian. Exactly.
This is Daryl pre-license. Hopefully the next time you see Daryl will be
post-license. Excellent. Breakfast is done. Had a nice eggs Benedict, of which Daryl ate most of it because I couldn't. And we are now off to Cyclespot. Let's go. This is going to be fun. Just bursting for the loo. Now everyone knows. Here we go. My bike and the Indian Scout next to each other. This is going to be very, very interesting. Now this is not the Bobber. They don't have stock. They're only getting in July now. They've sold out. So we'll try this one. It's got a slightly different ergonomic, so I will have to understand where the bars go. Yeah, I'm very excited. It's a 1133 cylinder, so almost double what Vulcan is, but all the power is down very low, so I'll just have to take it really easy, go slow. Let's have a good look. That engine is just immaculate. Immaculate. Let's do this thing. Oh my word, it's low. So low. Actually, to be honest, it feels very similar to Vulcan. Okay, well, I'm underwhelmed by the exhaust immediately, but that's something that can be fixed. Okay, it's got lots of torque. I like that. Not that I can test it here. Okay, so I can see the gear indicator, which is good. I don't know, 51 kilometers per hour I presume is... I would actually rather see something else. Where is the RPM? Surely there's a way to see the RPM. Must be a button. I don't see any buttons to push. Anyway, okay. Let's get onto the highway. Maybe I should have taken my earplugs out. So that looks like a USB port or something. Not sure. Okay, absolutely no buttons to change anything. No. Oh well. I guess there's no RPM indicator. Curious. And it sounds like a strangled sewing machine. but I know what they sound like with the real exhaust. They sound awesome. So no question I'll add an exhaust if I want. At the moment I'm not feeling too much difference to the Vulcan. Yes, it's got torque, so it pulls away nicely, but in terms of positioning, riding experience, to be honest, feels very similar. Very, very, very familiar. Okay, let's wind it up a little bit. Oh yes. Okay. It's got a good boost of power, that's great. And lots of it in fourth. Okay, there's no question it's got more grunt than Vulky. Not too much in fourth at 100. Yep, it's dead now. Vulky kicks in at this sort of speed and has a higher top end, no question. Yeah, so I'm in fourth and I open it up and Vulky will do better than that. But getting to 100, 1, 2, 3, very exciting. Let's see what happens if I change down. See, I don't know what the RPM is, so I don't know if what I'm doing to this engine. Woo, okay. It's not as sure-footed. That's interesting. A little bit squirrely. I think it's these big tyres. A little bit squirrely. It is very windy though. Okay, we'll take up a harbour highway and head into Albany. Yeah, nothing in fifth. Absolutely nothing. Anyway, Simon, if you're watching and I decide to buy an Indian, I'll tell you what, Vulky is close. Very close. And in some ways better. Well, we'll see what it's like on the twisties. But it feels premium. You know, all the parts look really good. They're high quality. Curious that the speedometer is there, there's no tacho. I prefer the tacho there and the speedo is a digital. I'm used to that, but it is what it is. At the moment I am struggling to see this being $7,000-8,000 more than Vulky. I think you're paying for brand. It's so beautiful though. You really are paying for the looks. Could that be a button? No heated grips, I'd have to put that on immediately. No buy-ins, how curious. I think I'm spoiled with Vulky. This is definitely a vanity purchase rather than an experience purchase, I'm afraid. Okay, up at 100. Let's stay at 100. I'll stay in fourth, I'm not going to go to fifth. It's very smooth, there's no vibrations to speak of. I mean, a little bit. I would say I was hoping for more of the Harley Davidson shake, rattle, teeth, clatter, just something quite different. Okay, see around the circle here. See around a roundabout. I find low speed roundabouts, that's always how I tell. Yeah, okay, my heel is scraping. It doesn't feel bad. It feels good around its slow speeds. As soon as you're at 100, it feels it could be the wind. the story with Yemi Noob knocking the Vulcan and saying this is a real thing? What? I think it's probably unfair to compare Vulcan with a proper exhaust on to this with nothing. If I had to compare this to Vulcan with its stock exhaust, it'd probably be a fairer contest. But it's the sound and the vibrations that really make what a cruiser is. Anywho, it's a piece of art, this, I must say. I think I'll do the Riverhead Coatesville road. So that's a road I'm familiar with from the past, and I know it's got some nice twists. It's the type of road that I would be doing in the Hanua Ranges and around Clevedon area. Okay, do some jeepers. This is a yield, I think. I hope. Wasn't looking. Yeah. Anyway, I'm very comfortable in the bike. It's instant comfort. A little bit wobbly, but that could have been the wind. So I'll take it through the twisties where I get a better feel where there's unlikely to be that much wind because there's trees. Now I've heard there's an aftermarket tachometer you can put onto it. So I'm not sure if it's a separate dial over here or if it just means you can see it on the dash. I'm not sure, but that is mandatory. I think it might be a time to go and ride a Harley. The Sportster. I think the Sportster S is too expensive. It's probably the same price as the Chief Dark Horse. Chief Dark Horse is pretty, man. So it might have to be the Nightster, but the Nightster is only a 975, so I'm not sure if it's going to have enough oomph. When Daryl and I travel down to Hamilton, and hopefully with Sami, we will go and visit Harley Davidson. There's one here too. Okay. I've heard that the suspension is bad. Look, I've been on good roads, but I went over a pothole there, I didn't feel a thing. Suspension felt fine. It's got very little travel, but then I'm guessing Vulcan must also have, because it didn't feel any better or worse. Jeepers, can't do third here. Do not do third at 50, it doesn't like it. I don't know. Is the character and the look and feel and the image factor enough for the extra money? Certainly not to trade in both Ninja and Vulcan. It's just, that's for sure. I'd have to save up. I could buy it outright just right now over the counter, but then Nadine would divorce me, and this bike is not good enough to handle that. No bike is good enough to handle that, darling, if you ever watch. I need to be changing into fourth there. Yeah, that's nice, but I can do that in Vulcan. I can do exactly. The brakes are not great. That's interesting. You have to really pull on the brakes. That's interesting. I thought the brakes would be, it's just, yeah, no, it doesn't. Okay, that's a negative against it. The brakes, I think it's only got a single side, and I think it's 298 mils or something. So although Vulcan's only got one as well, I think it's 330 or bigger. And let me tell you something, there's a big difference in braking experience. Although the back brakes are good, the back brakes are better. Yeah, I'm surprised at how good the back brakes are. The front brakes, she's not so good. Yeah, you just have to imagine what it would sound like. And listen, it's a V-twin. It will sound much better than Vulcan with a good exhaust. There is absolutely no question. I've heard it. I had a colleague at work who popped on a different exhaust. It sounded so good. But that's probably going to cost me $1,000 or $2. I'm not sure if slip-ons or whether you need the whole thing with the headers. And also, look, I believe that you can step these up. There's phase 1 or they got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's numbers. Stage 1. It's like a Harley. They give you stages. So you can improve the performance, but I wouldn't need to improve the performance. So if there are performances that are good for aesthetics or for feel, they would be worth considering. But it does feel a little bit sleepy on the corners. I think you get used to it, it'll become completely normal. So I don't think that's a problem. But it's not as sure-footed. And obviously I'm feeling a new bike for the first time, so you're a little bit, hyper aware of what you're feeling. You don't know what to expect, but yeah, it doesn't feel bad. I think I know what I need to know, and it's a great bike. It's a wonderful bike. I am just super spoilt with Vulcan, so it's a better bike than Vulcan. I can feel that. Better performance, better look and feel. Certainly better quality made. But in terms of riding experience, it's not that much. I mean, that's good, right? That is really good. But I think I can get Vulcan to do much the same. In fact, from what I can tell, this thing's 0 to 100 is 4 seconds, and Vulcan's is 4 seconds. So technically speaking, they should have the same 0 to 100. But it's how you get there. That's the difference. This one's got lots of grunt. But then, if the 0 to 100 is exactly the same, surely you've got the same grunt feeling. I don't know. I find it curious. Yeah, fine. Fine around corners. Completely acceptable. So there was an example where I had to push a bit harder than I'd have to push Vulcan. So counter steering is something you have to be aware of. Okay, let's go. Oh, there's no exit here. That's okay. I'll just do the parking lot. It's not the road I expected. I think it's the next one. But let's stop here and have a look at the bike, should we? Okay. Seems well behaved at slow speeds. No problem there. Oh, has it got a neutral? It has a neutral finder. That's great. Okay. So there we have it. I like the seat. I think it's better than the bobber seat because I feel quite secure. My butt is not sliding backwards, and I hear that that's a problem with the bobbers. What a beautiful machine. No question. Absolutely stunning. It does actually. Makes a big difference. Until you open it up, then it's like a sewing machine. Back to the dealership we go. Definitely a different sound coming from this bike without my earplugs. Started off in second there. But it's got this whining noise, like, which is interesting. Back on the highway. I was just reminded that there's nothing that happens in fourth after 100 k's an hour. Nothing happens. It's all down low. So, dropped off, ready to ride home to beautiful wife. She is 45 minutes away, I'll just make it by 12 if I move it, which is perfect timing. Oh, straight away that sound just isn't beautiful. Okay, feels very similar, just this one's a lot louder. Nearly home. Man, this bike is loud. When your one earphone is not in properly, earplug. Tiny little drizzle. Got home just in time. Home sweet home. Thank you.